So now we can... And it is recording.
Hello.
Kiki.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Wednesday Night Gaming Rise of the Runelords. John once again with Chapin, Will, and Heather is joining us tonight as well.
Well.
So we will have our fighter this time.
And maybe another? Maybe?
Maybe.
What, is he coming?
We see a car.
Let's put it that way.
And there might be a guest joining us, there might not. We do not know. We're starting a little late, so let's see how long it takes us to get through this. Anyway, Will, you know the drill. Take us through the last session.
Alright, so last session started with us getting a letter from Amiko's brother about meeting her in the glassworks. We got the letter from Amiko's servant, her helper, her hand around the kitchen.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. So we go to investigate the glassworks. Because we were missing our illustrious fighter.
I gotta remember to set alarms when I take naps.
Yeah.
Because I woke up right at 8, and I was like, I drove. It'd be like about 9 o'clock by the time I got there.
I'm sorry. But anyway, we did get the help from a wonderful NPC guardsman.
Oh my god.
Oh, who is this?
Check. Oh. No, check first, please.
It's a bearded man.
Just no one ask him. Hi.
Oh my god.
Hey.
It's Gimli.
We're recording, so be careful what you say, or else it will go online, and everyone will hear it.
Yes, there's a chair behind the couch.
Thank God.
Well, everybody, sorry for the little interruption, but our special guest has arrived.
It's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
You're all screwed now.
You might want to sit somewhere in that way direction, since we're using your son's screen as the map.
He's not a dwarf, but he is a fighter.
Why didn't you make him a dwarf?
Oh my God.
Because sometimes it's nice to go outside our comfort zones.
Oh.
And we're all humans anyway.
Yeah.
Human.
Yeah.
You're not special.
Yeah.
So he's a fighter?
But my friend,
Yeah.
I can only say this. Of all the souls I've met in all my travels, his was most human.
You're getting all teary-eyed, sir.
Dave,
Who?
since you're our special guest and our viewers already know all about us, why don't you go ahead and give them a brief description of yourself, including when and how you got into gaming.
Oh my gosh. I've been in gaming for 30 years. When Buffalo Castle first came out, and everything was written out in script, and you had to follow directions of flip to this page, flip to that page. And I got into role-playing when my sons got into it about 4 years ago, or more, 5.
Tabletop role-playing. Let's be clear.
Yes! Not into that type of role-playing that you have to pay for, which I've never done. And, I normally like to play a dwarven fighter because I like dwarves. I like the way their honor among themselves. And plus I look like a dwarf. I'm big, squat, got a beard, like Santa Claus, basically. If you can imagine yourself talking to Santa Claus, that's me. Except with an attitude and an axe.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes. Which I'm free to use anytime I want.
The attitude or the axe?
Both. By the way, I had my double-bladed axe over there hacking at your ne'er-do-well uncle's house today.
Were you chopping my uncle, or were you chopping...
I wish I was chopping your uncle. No, I was chopping weeds.
Okay.
Which I was pretending to be your uncle.
Alright.
Which explains the fervor.
By the way, Will, what kind of fire did you end up making? Like the sword and board, or?
Remember Raya from IU?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
This character is technically a two-weapon fighter, but he focuses more on attacks of opportunity because he has his...
Why do I have a 5 and handle animal?
Because...
Am I in the bestiality now?
Yes! It's because I figured you're a fighter, you probably do lots of the simple work around the town, so you probably do lots of, like, herding animals.
Okay.
and you're probably Scottish, so you like to screw sheep. Anywho.
Who doesn't...
all mine are negative,
Who
except for
doesn't lie?
intimidate and
Perception
and guard.
Wasn't there something with skills?
Oh yeah, those skills that I have crossed out on your sheets, you and Chapin.
Well, no, because you didn't help me.
Well,
Are you saying that like you're the worst DM ever?
okay, then Will, you probably already knew.
Because I'm a genius.
Anyway, I was thinking in the terms of 3.5 D&D when I crossed those skills out.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in Pathfinder, any class can use any skill.
Okay.
So, like, if you want to reallocate your ranks to put 1 or 2 in something such as disable device, you can do that if you want.
Yes.
So
Nah.
charge of the spear?
So like,
Well, keep that in mind next time you level.
Okay.
If
That
say,
you can
I'm
put
going
skill
to
ranks
hold
in
action
any
and
skill.
wait for them
Okay.
to come into my range, and you do an attack against a charging enemy, you'll do double whatever damage you roll.
So we have to get them to charge him.
Right. He, like I said before, he's based off of another character I've made. He focuses a lot on attacks of opportunity. So he has a two-handed reach weapon, so he can hit up to 10 feet away.
Oh,
And
awesome.
he has a spiked gauntlet, so he can hit people who are in melee range. So anyone moving through his threatened squares will get attacked multiple times.
Don't ask me because I can't read that.
Combat reflexes.
Reflexes.
You have
4
four.
AO per round.
You have 4
Attacks of opportunity.
So, like when people are moving through your threatened space, you can attack them multiple times.
So,
Hey, I'm your other fighter.
Oh, okay. You're in my threatened area.
so since we have our special guest here, we can get started again and hopefully get a full 2 hours in like we usually try to. Especially since there is a small dungeon going into and whatnot.
We all know how much Chapin here loves combat.
Uh-huh.
And
But, so anyway, Will, quickly get through the events of last session again.
yes, so last time we received a letter from Amiko's brother telling Amiko to meet her brother Pseudo in the glassworks of town. It was delivered to us by her
Kitchen maid.
kitchen maid, employee, the halfling who
The
works.
blender?
Yes, who works at the
Rusty Dragon.
At the Rusty Dragon. So we head over to the glassworks. Everything looks like it's dilapidated, but at the same time, everything's still running. We knock on the door. No one answers, and that's when Stanton has the idea. Hey, let's just throw a chair through the window. So we throw a chair through the window and enter through one of those.
You went through a chair.
It was available.
I mean, you entered the house through a chair.
Yes, we.
Not through the window or the door, through a chair.
I am regretting inviting you.
You said you entered the house with a chair.
I threw a chair through the window.
And then going through the window.
Yeah,
Right.
right. So all element of surprise was lost. As we found a bunch of goblins who were like dipping body parts in molten glass. There was a person there who appeared to be covered head to toe in glass.
Amiko's father.
Yeah, Miko's father.
Who is a very rich lord.
Yeah, he's a rich guy, and he got killed. But we don't think it was by the goblins, because the goblins aren't careful enough to cover a person head to toe in searing glass. So
Is it pretty?
It was very pretty. It was like a stained glass window, but like entirely made of blood and sinew.
And
the guy
a
in there,
screaming
like,
guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
ah!
Like frozen in time in glass.
Like full on, like carbonite.
Carbonite?
Yeah, carbonite.
Yeah.
That one.
So he sees through the glass darkly.
Yes. And off come the glasses.
Anyway.
Hemingway. I like him. He's a good writer. Go ahead.
We kill all the goblins in the top of the factory.
I'm a goblin. I gobble.
Then we went downstairs.
I'm acting out what you're doing.
Okay. Alright, so we go down the stairs, and we, you don't have the sound effects, you can't...
Okay.
Alright. Then we encountered Amiko's brother, and then we promptly kicked...
Amiko! Frederick!
Then we promptly kicked the crap out of him.
Ow! Go ahead.
Stopped him from killing himself.
Yeah, stopped him from killing himself.
Don't kill yourself! Why not?
Life is worth living!
It's not.
And we found Amiko, as well as a journal detailing all of the bad guys' plans.
You're going through the journal.
I thought this was supposed to be quick.
Well,
And then we found a tunnel.
yeah, then we found a tunnel that apparently there's a bunch of bad stuff down. It's key to the bad guys' plans.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys found the tunnel, but you haven't walked down there yet. The gnome guard that was with you decided to take Pseudo back to the guardhouse for interrogation and write up the report that he killed his stepfather. Another town guard.
I noticed a broken glass and I came through the same way you came. What the hell is going on here? Explain yourselves. Oh my god, there's a lot of dead goblins around here.
Did you see the statue?
It's pretty, isn't it? I'd like to have something like that in my foyer.
Lucy looks very
You'll
sick.
have to forgive me. I'm not familiar with your 3 different accents.
What? Look, you stupid English nigget. I have to come from a mixed background, you know.
So you come across a fellow town guard, Linka, who was there during the goblin raid.
Linka?
Stanton down, a lawful neutral cleric.
Stanton? You had to pick that name, didn't you? You stupid piece of crap.
A lawful neutral cleric of Abadar. And Lucy, who is a druid, but she believes that she's a cleric of Gaia. And her pseudo-dragon, animal
Theodora.
companion, Theodora.
It's pseudo-dragon?
Yes.
They're a dragon about the size of
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm just a plain old guard doing my duty. Going around doing my rounds. Now I'm Scottish, if you couldn't tell. Shut up.
You said Jimmy.
Doing my duty. And then I went and did my duty.
Oh, this is going to be a fun night.
Yes, it is.
Gentlemen.
Oh, you messed up my pillow.
So,
Quit pushing me. Chapin, she's in my personal space.
Whoa, that look.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Whose house are you in? Mine.
Well, you don't mind if I pass gas, do you?
Go for it.
Go that way.
I just haven't been telling her.
okay, so anyway,
Yeah.
when you...
Hemingway, he must be very popular.
You already said that!
Alright, I'm through.
Alright, so you go... So you take the new guard with you. What's your name going to be?
Well, he says it's La Fighter.
No, wait. That's your character class and level.
Oh.
Level 2 fighter.
Oh,
I
thought you
didn't
said
give you a name.
I thought you said law
fighter.
You know, law fighter.
You're asking me to read his handwriting? Okay.
What do you want your name to be?
Okay. We'll go plain Scottish. We'll go Amish. Amish. Amish Leclerc.
So by Amish, you mean like 1900s Americans.
I'm Amish Leclerc. I'm Scottish and French.
Amish.
And I good between the accents are very good, you know. So, my name is Amish Leclerc.
All right then.
What's
so,
Scottish?
So
Amish is Scottish.
But
what's Scottish?
she's breaking the fourth wall.
Oh. What's Scottish?
I don't know.
What it's the Brits that live above us, England.
What's England?
Let's not go there. Anyway, so
Your son did it first night.
So when you go down the tunnel, it winds on for about 100 feet. And there are two paths. One path clearly leads to a cliffside. If you go to it, you pretty much look down, it's just a sheer drop to the ocean. Nothing there. The other direction ends up breaking off again. The other way seems to be a tunnel that leads back up to the surface. The other way, however, has the remains of brick scattered all across the ground, as if the tunnel was once bricked up, but then broke open again.
So the path, one splits off to the cliffside, another one splits off to another fork?
Yes.
Okay.
Which one looks as though it just goes straight back up to the surface
It's a fork
somewhere.
and fork, lad.
One goes back up to the surface, the other one looks like it had once been bricked over, but then the bricks were torn off.
Okay.
Or torn up, whatever.
Is there any light coming from that one?
No, that one just continues further inwood, underground.
Is there any particular smell coming from the tunnel, lad? If you've ever been underground in a cave, it's pretty much like that. There seems to be no
Smells
fresh
like water.
Yeah.
Dirt and water.
Dirt,
Like my
water,
bedroom.
and stale air. So yeah, when you go deeper into that direction, you will start losing the light. And if any of you saw the reminder that I placed on Facebook, while the light spell is a 0-level spell, it's also limited to where a spellcaster can only have one light casted. So Will would only be able to have one light cast.
Here's another question. Channel energy, do I have to be wielding my holy symbol in order to use it, or can I just have it on my persons?
As long as you have it on your person.
Alright, so...
I think the flavor text says they'd like you to hold it up or something, but as long as it's... because that's where it's supposed to channel from.
Alright, so I'm going to not have my Morning Star out. I'm going to be having another torch. I'm going to be having a torch out, and a light spell that I'm going to cast for you, because you, obviously holding a spear, you can't carry a torch. So.
Right.
Okay, so...
I've got 3 freaking weapons. What?
But she can cast a light spell on you and then carry a torch for herself.
Are you?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay, so...
So,
Your sword?
I've never had someone carry a torch for me. I feel kind of abashed.
Okay, so...
Spoiling me.
By the way, since the end of last session, you all said that you were going to tackle this tunnel the very next day.
Yeah.
You all have full hit points and full spell use. And
I'm gonna get water.
so, while she's getting water, I'm going to go ahead and set up the lights for you. Torch spreads out 40 feet, dims at 20 feet.
have trained the road.
Mm-hmm.
And light, same thing.
Over here, so we can. You also punch people.
Spikes on my gloves.
Yeah. You have one of your gauntlets has spikes on it, so you could totally just punch people out.
Yeah. I liked it.
Now, Lucy.
Yeah.
As long as your animal companion stays within any of the light sources being offered, her low light vision gives her double.
Okay.
Which means your torch and his light spell, the torches and light spell give bright light 20 feet out and dim light 40 feet out completely.
Okay.
Your dragon will be able to see 40 feet of bright light and 80 feet of dim light.
Okay. Cool.
But we're all humans, so we have normal vision. No one's got infrared or night vision, right?
Theodora has low light vision.
Ah.
So I believe everybody... I think I forgot Linka. Yeah. Everybody's should be set up
Alright.
about now.
Marching order?
Theodora could go first and, scout around
Alright.
a little bit.
That sounds good. Hey!
Oh, hey!
Oh,
There's
hey,
something
hey.
there.
Alright.
There's
Well,
something there.
let's establish marching order first, and then we'll worry about what everyone's seeing.
Yeah, establish that first. And also, since this is a dungeon crawl, I thought it would be nifty to experiment something for the next time we end up in dungeon crawl. To have everybody go ahead and roll initiative now, and we use that initiative to determine, who ends up walking in what direction, so we're not just crazily going, oh, I'm going this way, I'm going that way, and yada yada.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So if everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
9.
Which, by the way, I also have the initiative set up for anything that you end up
25.
meeting in here. I'm keeping no secret.
Okay.
25.
Alright? What's your dexterity?
My dexterity is a +3.
But
16 plus...
He has the feats improved initiative and the trait, I think it's reactionary. So he gets...
For sake of argument, I'm making it a 26 then.
Alrighty. Stanton gets a
Link.
15.
What was Linka's?
I haven't rolled yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting to roll.
Stanton's a 15.
18 plus 3, it's 21.
Pluses. I don't think I have anything in pluses, so whatever. Nope.
Alright, so, you got your marching order set up, right?
Not yet, because we know that Theodora goes first. I'm assuming Amish, you'd go after that.
Right, lad.
But like I said, even though you're setting up your marching order, Amish would be allowed to do whatever he wants first as far as moving or checking anything out or whatever.
Right.
You can go and then I'll...
Or if you want, if you wanted to keep a marching order as we're going through, you could just say, "Oh, I'm going to hold action whenever we're moving," and then wait until it's appropriate for you to move in the
Okay.
order. I'm assuming Stanton go after.
And I'll bring up the rear
You.
in case...
All right. And then
Bring up the rear.
Lucy goes in the middle.
Uh-huh.
All right. All right.
Because I'm squishy.
Alright, so, you're in marching order, you come to about there, and you notice the cutoff. And if any of you happen to glance down in that direction, yes, you do in fact notice something that was trying to hide in the shadows, but now that he's lit up, he's all... Imagine a... Well, actually, I got it right here.
I see you.
A hairless humanoid that lurches on back-bent, dog-like legs, a hideous mouth flanked with tiny little three-fingered hands. None of you have probably ever seen a thing like this before, in character. And now that he's all lit up and whatnot, since he can't move before anybody, he's going to he's intimidating you, and he's going to try to attack at you.
Okay.
He is also holding a type of short spear. Not necessarily a trident, but something like it.
Okay.
Do we all see it?
Yeah, you all see it now. And right now, Amish, what do you wish to do?
If he's going to attack, I'm going to hold my position and hold my spear in a defensive position, so that if he charges, he'll impale himself with the point of his spear line.
All right then.
And I skewer at him like a kebab.
What's a kebab?
Like a kobold.
Yes.
All right, it is actually going to be its turn, so it's going to go ahead and charge towards you. So go ahead and
Do your worst, you scurvy swine!
go ahead and make your attack of opportunity against him.
Would it be a regular attack or an attack of opportunity?
He is, since he's using a reach weapon, it would be an attack of opportunity because he has to go within his 10-foot square and then move again.
I thought he would prepare the action, and then attack, and then if he continued moving, he would get an attack of opportunity if he's moving.
He is moving towards me. He's coming towards me, so I get an attack of opportunity.
Well, what I'm saying is that you prepared the action to attack once he entered your range, so you would get your regular attack against him, and then as he moved closer, you get your attack of opportunity. So you get 2 attacks on him. Only one of them would get double damage, but
I'll say that's fair enough. So he enters your 10-foot square. Make your ready to attack against him.
Now I get a +6 on my lawn spitter.
right.
Oh, jeez. That's a 17.
A 17, since this is technically his flat-foot round, will hit him.
Ew. And so that's a hit.
Yeah.
With the lawn spear and the lawn
then
spitter.
He'll go past your 10-foot square into your 5-foot, moving through your threatened range, so make an attack of opportunity on him. See if both attack. Yeah, that'll hit him.
So 2 hits, and that's 1d8 plus 4.
So that's for your first attack.
6.
So that would be 12, because was he charging?
Yeah, he was charging towards you.
Okay, so that's 12 on the first attack.
6, and that's 10.
So 22.
22, he ends up dropping that one.
But
I know how to build them.
He just did you see he ran right into my spear. What a dumbass.
You did.
What is that?
That is
whatever it is, it's dead. I'm gonna shake it off and my spear. Get it off of there. Ugh.
Gross.
Would it be possible for maybe our 2 fighters to do a survival check, or
What? Checking
Knowledge nature?
for pat him down for anything?
What do you mean survival check?
So
Why
we
do
know
we
what
need
it
to do
is?
so we can try and identify what it is?
All right, a survival check. I got survival 6, so
I
that's
have
a D20.
survival, but I don't have any.
17 on knowledge nature?
8 plus 6 is 14.
It's an aberration, but I'll go ahead and allow it on knowledge nature.
I don't know anything.
You said 17?
Yeah.
Okay, what you've come across, you've heard about in stories from wizards and whatnot, but never actually seen. It seems to be something called a sin spawn. A personification of one of the 7 deadly sins.
A sin spawn.
Being gross.
Sort of like you. Spawned in pure sin.
All the negative energy he's been channeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We better tuck this body away before somebody might come from behind and find it, so we'll have to stow him away.
Under legal precedent, it's okay to kill in self-defense. We live in one of those.
I know, but I'm
houses.
talking about anybody that's in the dungeon, lad, that may come across a dead being here and come up from behind. So stow them away so that no one can see our tracks.
Are these creatures smart enough to do that?
Let's see.
they?
Doesn't seem to have too much brains. Maybe not.
That one is dead.
The
Yep.
one.
Right. I was just checking his brains out.
He's average intelligence.
I've got a 10 intelligence.
Metagame speed, the way the wizards would have
I say we
described
just
them, they
throw
have
them
a base intelligence
down
of
the
10.
hall.
So they have average
Oh,
human
there's
intelligence.
a
might
cliff
be
we
able
can
to-
talk about it. Someone go back and talk to him at the cliff.
Are we tossing him over the cliff?
Someone go back to the one to tunnel and toss him over the cliff. That way we can get rid of him and we'll go on. Well, it's either that or eating.
You just made blood all over the floor.
I just scooped that out of the way with my boot.
I think they're going to see our footprints.
Crap.
It's like when you make a mess and you just like.
Smear it around so it doesn't look as bad.
I tell you what, we'll make it into a little ball and throw it up on the ceiling like toilet paper.
What's toilet paper?
Never mind. It'll be invented in a while, and you can wipe your, you know what, on it instead of using your hand like you normally do. You stupid English nigget.
What's English?
Anyway, we get rid of the body. Stuff him in. We'll cut him up and stuff him in our pockets.
You can hold them in your pockets.
Theodora is all for this plan.
What do you all
not so much.
What do you actually do with the body? Like, where do you drag it off to?
I would say we drag it back to the cliff and throw him over. Just to get
If
rid
we're
of
gonna do anything with the body, just do that.
Okay.
it. All right.
I would rather us clear the dungeon rather than be worried about covering our evidence. But
Let's just stuff him in a corner.
Yes.
Here. He's.
You stabbed his brains out. There's blood all over the floor.
I would have to mention that, considering how much of the map is lit up for all of you controlling the same screen, it seems to be that what's behind you is so far the only way in or out, and you guys just came up to the first quote-unquote guard.
All right.
You have another path going towards your right, or continuing straight ahead.
I don't think we need to worry about it.
Yeah, just stuff him off in the corner, and let's proceed on.
Theodora loots him.
There's nothing on him but the spear that he was holding. What's called a rancer. It's like a smaller cousin of the trident. It's got like a single spear tip and little spikes that jut out the side of it.
It's like a devil's spike.
It's not anything that you could use, but the fighters or anybody that has martial weapons.
I'll just stick it to the strap in my back and hold on to it for evidence.
strap on.
Strap off.
Like he's gonna, look like he's gonna stab in his head.
Yeah.
Save it
for evidence for later. It's okay. I'm okay.
What happened to my Scottish accent? I don't know.
I just stabbed myself in the head.
So anyway,
Now I'm Irish.
I'm part Irish.
So anyway, Lenka,
Yeah.
you could move ahead now or wait.
Amish.
You could move ahead in either direction or wait if you want.
Are we staying together as a group?
Yeah, I thought we were going to maintain formation, and unless otherwise stated, we were just going to hold action until it's our time to move.
Okay, and then I guess since you want Theodora in front, we'll skip down to Lucy.
Okay. Theodora goes down the way that the weird sin thing came from.
Well, you can see all the way down in there. It's just a dead end.
Oh, it's a dead. Oh. Okay.
Yep.
I thought that maybe there was one. Okay, so
It's like an empty
You
bladder.
got two paths going to the right or straight up, though.
right.
Alright.
So make her movement speed in that general direction.
Let's see. Movement speed of how much?
Fly is 80 feet, I think. Yeah.
So you can make up to her movement speed then, since you want to stay together.
So, I'm gonna move 20 because I'm assuming we want to stay in the formation.
Okay. Or
Okay.
30?
Well,
You're 20?
Well, because I'm weighed down by armor, he's weighed down by armor.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm assuming Amish, you'd.
I'll follow.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We are progressing
1,
slowly.
True.
2, 3. 1,
Who can move the most in this?
2, 3.
Her dragon can move up to 80 feet, which would leave you all
Behind.
In the
And
dust.
strand Theodora way ahead of us in case she ran.
Then why is she in the front?
Because she can see the farthest.
Yeah, her low light vision makes her vision doubled because of all the torches and whatnot.
She's a tank.
So, see peering into the other room, it looks to have been an old storeroom. Large mounds of rubble lie strewn on its floor, and the wall to the west has been torn down to reveal a tunnel leading to the tunnel that you're all even in. So, technically, you're going out of a cave into an actual man-built room. If you continue down that path. And there is a closed-off door.
Do we hear anything when we listen intently?
You can make perception checks if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Perception.
That is 15 plus...
Ew. 8.
Plus 9.
Oh my gosh.
23.
I guess because I'm in the back of the group, I don't
23.
hear a darn thing.
Yeah.
So 23, 23, and
3.
to nothing.
8.
So
We're
far,
looking around going,
Yeah, we're just like,
so far, all you guys hear is just the ambient noise of being in a place that's been underground and left dormant for so long. So you hear nothing but the drips of water and air moving about.
Did you prepare detect magic?
no.
Should I have? Did I? Wait, did I?
It's a
Can
zero
I
level.
Always pick detect magic.
Why?
You know what?
'Cause
You know what? I didn't prepare virtue. I prepared detect magic. That's what I did. That's what I totally did.
Yeah.
So you're going to cast detect magic
I'm
about?
dripping water.
Yeah, I got that. Yes. Yeah. Stanton's gonna run a detect magic spell.
you gotta do the Ferris Bueller.
Oh, I'd love that sound. I wish I could make
Well,
it.
when you get detect magic up and running and take a couple minutes
I
to
can do it
stand
perfect,
about
though.
letting it do its thing.
Yeah, that's cool. That's it.
You know how Sith are capable of completely hiding themselves, but at the same time a powerful Jedi such as Yoda will still think that there's something not right in the air. Maybe it's not anything evil at all, it's just I feel off today.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're feeling. There's nothing inherently evil in the air magically, but at the same time it's just don't like being down here. There's something not right.
Theodora wants to go into the basement and loot everything.
Theodora, you don't even know if there's loot down here.
If it's a basement, there's upstairs.
We just came from the upstairs.
Different building.
What if all they have down here is Christmas decorations?
Shiny.
So,
What? Haven't you ever wrapped yourself in tinsel and danced?
In the nude.
My order makes it a point to stay away from such establishments.
so how do you all proceed from here?
The public inn? I've done it many a time before.
From the titty bar.
Oh.
How do you all proceed from here?
Let's go down there and see what's down.
Yeah, let's go.
But I'm here to clean out. I'm here to clean out.
You're here to chew bubblegum and kick ass,
Yes.
and you are all out of bubblegum.
I'm here to kill.
So.
Go away.
So we're walking.
She's fat.
What? It's not working.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So, 20 feet?
Yeah. 1, 2.
4.
Except that doesn't get us there.
We all can hear you.
3.
Well, let me go ahead and say this. Since that room is entirely clear, since you all are capable of seeing into it, so if you want, you can go ahead and move everybody there and
Alright, so
tackle the door any way you want.
if we're going to be
There's
doing...
a door.
Alright, so if we're going to be doing door
The
breaching...
door is right there.
So, Theodora on one side,
Yeah, Theodore
Hamish on the other,
can stick to the ceiling.
Stanton there.
Why are we all out in the hall? Isn't that like the entrance to the room?
See, you can be over here to heal Theodora in case anything happens, and there we go.
I am no good right there.
Why not there? Because then she can just shoot in.
Alright. Well, if someone comes out, then she's going to be using a ranged weapon in melee range.
And I've got my
I have
spitter.
my long sword out, so...
And I've got my spitter.
So,
Whoa.
you are going
Well,
to be doing a two-weapon fight?
You better tuck
Yeah.
that away.
Because she put the light on my sword.
Alrighty. We got it.
I know what I'm doing.
You light up my sword.
I do light up your sword.
Wink.
You know, like his primary melee weapon.
Yeah.
What were you...
Yeah, my primary melee weapon
What
that
were
I've
you-
always got in my hand, ready to whip it. Yeah. And rip it good.
Oh,
Whip
Jesus.
it. Whip it good.
Yes.
Okay.
Whip it.
Whip it good.
I need to get drunk and sing that again.
So
I
this
still have some rum.
Yeah, I've got my spear in my hand.
Yes!
I've got
All right, fellas.
I've got my spear in hand, pilgrim.
so
His
this
feet are incredibly small.
this door appeared to
I have
have
to look at that.
once been a stronger door. Like, it's made of wood. It has very rusted out metal frame to it, to like where the hinges are and whatnot.
Okay.
But time has not been good to it, so it's far weaker than it once was.
Never good to anybody.
No.
Wine. It's very good to wine.
Yes.
So...
What do you mean it's good to wine?
So you're
Really?
Do you want some cheese?
So can we take a 10 on perception to see if it's like locked or barred in any way? Or...
Yeah, it's unlocked and it's not barred.
Kick down the door.
So we open the door, file in.
Okay.
Get on the floor. Everybody do the tabas.
Alright, so you open the door and the door leads into a 5-foot narrow hallway.
A 5-foot narrow
Oh, come on. I
hallway.
deserve to hear a point.
God damn it.
So who's going to move into the hallway first?
Take a 10 on perception to see if there are any traps that stand out.
And what's your perception with 10?
Let's see, I have an 8 in perception.
19.
So 18.
18 and 19 is...
Well,
18...
take a 10. Like, you have enough time to just sit and study. You don't have to...
So what's your perception plus 10?
Perception plus 10
I have 13.
is 13.
Between all that, you're still hearing nothing but ambient noise.
And we don't see anything, like...
No, because it dead ends and then turns.
Okay.
Alright, so Theodora, take point.
Okay.
After her, we'll have Amish, since he can reach over her. Then myself, Lucy, and Linka bringing up the rear guard.
Alright.
But you're our bud.
You're our butt. You're the group butt.
Can't you hit select and select them all and then move them all at once?
No.
That would be too easy. And quick.
Or use your mouse.
You know what?
Hey,
I don't need to take this from you.
Did anybody hear that?
No.
Neither did I.
Lucy's starting to freak out a little bit.
Alright,
What?
so...
How small is this tunnel?
It's 5 foot wide, so you can only go in marching order.
So I'm seeing a door there, something here, and something over here.
Alright, so there is no door to there that can actually continue downward.
No, you don't.
There, it seems to be another way out into the natural cave.
So this is the way out to the natural cave.
No. That is the way out to...
We're not seeing
We're not
anything.
seeing-
Yeah, I was in the wrong way. That is out to the natural cave. There is no door there.
That's
Okay.
It's just another hallway.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's a passage.
Yeah.
Way that way.
Okay. So, sneak up on it?
Yeah, let's sneak up on the door and attack it.
But there is no door.
Oh.
So sneak up on
So
it.
the sneak attack will be an automatic success.
Yes!
Yeah.
We've already scared the door away.
So look into the hallway.
Can we look into the door?
Alright.
Can
Look into the doorway?
Okay. Now,
just
we're seeing we're seeing things.
do we have to make a perception check to see that?
Yes, because he is technically stealth. Stealth behind the wall, not actually leaning out.
Hey, let's take a 10 on perception.
Well, that was Lucy. So this is Theodora. Yeah, 13.
Oops, I threw it right over your...
19.
Linka sees everything.
Yes.
Somehow she is psychically aware of everyone.
17 on perception.
I had a 22 on perception.
None of you see nothing hiding.
Or 21.
What the fuck?
What?
We got a 22. We see
How
it on
many
the
negatives
goddamn
are in that
screen.
sentence? None of y'all see nothing hiding.
We see nothing hiding. Hello, is anyone hiding there? No.
He rolled a 19 with a +7, and he's not actually stepped out into the hallway. He's around the corner. I mean, come on. Cut me some slack here.
You guys don't see me!
Can we,
I'm hiding
for
in
not
the door.
popping
Can't
out,
see me.
can we take a 20 on perception?
You can't see me. Come under the hallway. I'm not
Fine.
hiding in the door.
Fine, you notice that the two of them are there then.
Okay, it's just...
I mean, you gotta think of it from this way though.
Take
He's
these into
supposed to be...
Photoshop and cut them out.
You gotta think of it from this way though. If you guys are... Since you guys are right there at the end of the hall, he is supposed to be... the wall is right here. He's supposed to be up against it like this.
Then don't
Even though the light is allowing him...
don't put him into the lair then.
Yeah.
Keep him in the GM lair.
Yeah. Keep him somewhere where we as
Where we
players
can't
won't
see
be
it.
we won't be so painfully obviously walking into an ambush.
I'll walk into it because I can't see it. I'm around the corner.
Go ahead. Theodora takes a step back and says, "My guest."
All right.
All right. So you.
Nice knowing you.
It's like they took their hand out and was like, woohoo!
All right. So you all.
You cowardly lion.
Are they leaning around the corner?
I mean, I'll go too.
with the head and with arrows in the head's
Because my
eyes.
sword's already out.
It's okay, guys. Come on down the hallway. Nothing bad here.
All right. So you
It's
all.
just Kermit the Frog.
All right. So you all get me on that one. So do whatever you wish to.
I mean, I'll go down the hall too because my sword's already drawn. Like, I'm already.
Well, I've got my spear in my hand like I always do. So I've got my
I'm sure.
My spear is out and ready whenever it's willing.
Uh-huh.
All right.
That's
So I'm walking down the hallway
I got it.
I'm walking down the hallway with spear in hand.
I bet you do that a lot, huh?
Oh, you better believe it.
So who's
I'm always-
going to go towards them
I'm always
first?
sharpening the
I
head
guess
of
the
my
fighters
spear.
are.
So
Yeah, Dragon stayed back. She's gonna let this happen.
so
The first thing
who wants to take
the
point?
pirate sees is the tip of the spear coming around the corner.
What do you mean take point?
What?
What do you mean take point?
And then who's
All
going to
right.
go in front?
You want to take points?
Well,
He gets
Good
attacks
point.
of opportunity.
Can't
Yes,
the-
but he can also reach over other people. So you can have someone in front of him attacking, and then him in the back poking him.
Because I've got a long spear.
Stick.
Yeah. I can be in her rear.
It's like he's beating off a giant.
I can be in her rear. Sticking whoever's in
I'll get
front.
him in the gut and you can get him in the head.
So Lincoln, you'll be in front.
I'll go in front.
All right.
Because of the way corners work, she won't be able to attack him from there. She has to actually be completely adjacent to him.
What?
It says it in the combat section.
Okay. All right. I'll grant you that one since we were dicks about the other one.
Since combat is
would
started.
I'm
Amish
I will be back.
would
You're-
Amish be able to attack around the corner? Or,
No.
All right.
No,
So
no creature is capable of attacking around a corner. You have
Unless
to.
you use
so
a
this
boomerang.
so this dude's not gonna jump out. What you're saying? He's not gonna be like surprise.
He was going to wait for you all to try to walk past him as if he wasn't there and try to grab at whoever came across that square. Because that square is the only square where anybody can attack each other at this moment.
All right. So
No one can reach around corners.
what's your AC?
18.
19.
19. All right. So what you're gonna do
All right.
is you are going to run across here, probably be provoking an attack of opportunity.
All right.
You'll come to this square,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to
Turn around.
then you can prepare an attack so that when he comes around, if he comes around, he'll get attacked by your regular attack, and if he moves closer, an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Linka can move in there and attack him from the sides. I can move in here, channel negative energy, and hit these two. Lucy could be back here. Theodora will be bringing up the rear.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, now let's do that in actual turn order.
Okay, so Amish would be moving first.
Yep.
Alright, so Amish runs past the square. He gets an attack of opportunity done against him.
Oh, he failed. He goes to spear me and goes.
Yeah.
Please tell me that happens.
Yeah, he's...
He hits himself in the head with the butt of his trident.
He's trying to do a butt, and he ended up hitting himself with the spike.
So, Amish gets past and prepares an attack against the other one, I guess?
Yes.
Right.
So, after him, it's actually the Sin Spawn. So,
So there'd be an empty space?
yeah.
Okay.
So there has to be an empty space because he's going to step out and attempt to attack him again.
Oh, okay, so I'll just
Oh,
stab him
shit,
in
I walked right through a wall.
How do you do that?
Yeah, I hit the wrong button. Alright.
So he's going to step out, and he is
Make it a
actually
fighting
going to forego his spear and try to bite at you.
Ooh.
You'll turn into one of them.
Does a 20 hit your AC?
Yes.
Alright, so you're going to need to make me a... Let's see. It would be... No, it's actually a will save. You need to make me a will save.
A will save.
Yeah, and you have to beat a 12.
A wisdom. That's wisdom? Is that right?
Yeah.
You should have written...
Plus 1?
Yeah, it's a...
Will save plus 1? Okay.
You're
19.
fine. You also take 3 points of damage.
Arr.
He gets a... Well, he's holding a spear, so he can't do his 2 claws. So you've been bitten, but you save yourself from any nastiness that would have come from that mouth. Nasty. So now that he... Let's see. He stepped out. He, noticing that his friend's been attacked, is going to step out as well, and he is also going to try to take a bite at you. No. Not on a 2.
Alright.
The prepared attack.
Yeah, you get your prepared attack against him.
Okay, so
It's not a charge, though.
Okay, so you get a prepared attack. 9 plus 6 is 15.
15 hits him by 1 point.
Alright, and your attack of opportunity. Was he moving diagonally, or was he moving...
He moved diagonally.
Alright, so he was moving out of a threatened area, so you would get another attack against him.
Another attack. So I got one successful attack. This is my second one, which is, 6 plus 6 is 12.
12 will not hit him.
12 will not hit. So I get 1 hit. That's 1d8 plus 4.
Yes, you can use my dice.
Thank you. 6
10.
plus 4 is 10.
Alright. Linka,
Yes.
you're up. These are also sin spawn, by the way.
Would she have learned if these are undead or not?
These are not undead, they are apparitions.
Okay. Aberrations.
Aberrations. These are technically summoned creatures.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to attack the one that's between me and Amish.
Oh, shit.
19!
You'll want to keep that one.
Yeah.
19 on the die will hit him.
With my long sword, the attack modifiers is 4.
Well, I should, since you're right there next to him, do you want to swing at him with both weapons or just one?
Just 1.
Well, yeah, go ahead and roll your longsword damage, which should be a d8 plus your strength modifier.
2 plus 2.
4. Alright. So that means you're done. And it's Stanton.
Channel negative energy.
Wow!
They have to beat a will save of 15.
How much?
15.
Question.
Yes.
You wouldn't happen to know if channeling energy is considered a mind effect, would you?
I don't
Mind affecting.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
I figured not, but should make sure. So they have to beat a 12?
They have to beat a 15.
Oh, 15? 1 gets it. 1 does not.
Alright.
So,
Then I roll a d6. 1. Jeez.
1! It's okay. Don't worry.
I am not going to make fun of you.
so just 1 point of damage to each?
No,
Yeah.
just Mr. 1 here.
Alright then.
Oh, come on. Like, in the first 2 sessions, I got nothing but, like, 5s and 6s.
Lucy, do you and
I think
Theodora
Carla
wish to do
essentially
anything to him, or wish to do anything or not? Where is Lucy?
She's around the
All
corner.
Lucy, where are you?
Considering that I would have to scramble through his space in order to get behind him or something, I think I'm just gonna sit tight.
Oh, you're right on top of Lucy.
Wait,
Only Ricky's on top of Lucy.
Will put his token
No,
right
I
on
didn't
top
move
of
a
yours.
damn thing. You were moving all my tokens around.
So,
You know what?
We'll
Lucy,
have
you're
to be between all the girls.
Lucy, you and Theodora holding action?
Yeah.
Okay. That brings it back to Amish.
Brings it back to Amish. Aye. Alright, I'm going to be attacking the scurvy scum in front of me.
Because he's adjacent to you, you'll have to
I
punch
can
him.
punch him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a spiked gauntlet.
Ooh, yeah. I'll do a spiked gauntlet attack. Alright. I get a +6 on a spiked gauntlet attack. Damn it.
Rolling it between the
17 is a 23.
23 will hit.
Alright. A spiked gauntlet attack is a 1d4 plus 3. 6.
And I guess you meant this one?
Right.
Alright. So he's almost dead. He's not dead.
It was my 1 point of damage I did. Really?
But I'm feeling a lot better.
He's not
Man,
dead.
oh no, you're not. You're gonna die any minute. Stop being such a baby.
Die! He's not dead. He's nearly dead.
He's mostly dead. There's a difference.
I don't want to
yeah.
get on the
The chocolate coating makes it go down quicker.
I don't want to
What
get
is
on
it
the car.
off of?
Princess Bride. Okay.
I
It
don't-
sounds really familiar, but I've never seen
Okay,
Princess
Lenka.
Bride.
I don't want to go on the car.
Alright, Lenka.
Yes.
One is going to attempt to jab and bite you. Another one's going to attempt to jab and bite you.
Well, he can take care of himself.
Is
so
this
I'm
a
gonna...
mating ritual?
So,
It might be.
the red dice is jabbing, the white dice is biting.
Cleons.
So, I'm willing to bet a 9 is not going to hit you, and neither is a 7.
My AC is 18.
Yeah. Well, we got a crit on the bite and a crit fail on the jabbing.
Can we say they just cancel each other out? And do nothing?
Nothing happens. We just go, and nope.
I'll go with yeah right now.
You know,
He just slams into me and is just like,
Well,
Lincoln,
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I don't know if
you
anybody
did
else.
nothing.
I
Are
don't
you
know if
swing-
anybody else has noticed, but
are you
John's bag is sticking straight up in the air.
are you swinging
Yeah.
with both weapons?
Now
or
you have
just
to
one?
press it down.
Now push it down. Cover it with the board.
I'm gonna do both weapons now since I
Alright.
didn't get them on the first try.
So
That's a 10.
Oh.
10. So do I need to roll that twice?
yeah, one for your long
Okay,
sword
so
and one
it'll
for
be
your short.
14, and then
And plus your bonus for flanking.
18.
All right, so
What's the
both
bonus for flanking?
you get a +2. Even without the flanking bonus, you still hit both times, so you get to roll both damage.
You mean she's got a flanking bonus?
You both, well, you both
Okay,
do on that one
6.
that's between the two of you.
So it'd be 8 for the longsword,
More like 10 for the long sword.
and then. Oh wait, I did the wrong one for the short sword. Sorry.
Yeah.
What did I? Oh.
Same number.
You get a 1 anyway.
So 3 for the short sword.
You're sitting too close to Will. It's rubbing
They-
off on you.
It always
Are you saying that I rub off on girls who sit next to me?
Stanton.
You may get off.
Stanton.
Channel negative energy.
Did I kill him?
Not yet.
Oh, fucking bastard!
They have to beat a 15, you said?
Yep.
Okay, the red one's for
You
the
take
one in
my
the
sword.
middle, the white one's for the one at the top.
Die!
They both critically fail, so they take full
Oh
damage.
my god! They did. It's a double one.
Because they crate, can we just say they take the full 6?
You may now
Why
go to
not?
jail.
All right.
They both drop.
They both go to jail. They do not pass
Just
go.
do not
They
pass
collect $200.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my
They
god.
both. Damn it! Bring me to me. There you go. They both drop.
They start bleeding from every orifice as they fall to the ground.
What didn't
That'd
even?
be creepy. Just like we're fighting them, and just out of nowhere they're like.
What didn't even touch him?
They were just like
That time.
God, he's scared of my kilt.
Everyone is scared of your kilt.
No, he's not scared of my kilt. He's scared of what's underneath my kilt.
Like you dropped your spear and you're like, whoop.
Yeah, whoop.
You get back up and they're like bleeding and you're like,
Son, I don't know where you've been, but I see that you won first
prize.
yes.
So, where you're standing now, you see that there's a hall that goes 40 feet down that way, and then you're unable to see any further. And then you got Nifty Door. You also are straight ahead of you. You're in this chamber right here.
One dead body disappear and the
Well,
other one
let me
didn't.
switch back to my hair. In this chamber right here,
You're just stepping over.
yeah,
Squish,
Oh.
squish, squish.
Doing it.
you got a red marble statue of a strikingly beautiful but at the same time monstrously enraged human woman standing in the middle of this room
So,
with a stony expression twisted in fury. The woman wears flowing robes, has long hair that is held back from her face by an intricate headdress of hooks and blades. And in her left hand she carries a large book, the face of which is inscribed with a 7-pointed star. And in her right hand holds a glittering metal and ivory rancer. You are unable to... This statue is so old that no amount of history checks are going to be able to tell any of you what the significance of this statue is.
and this is all in the room that I'm dancing Amish in right
Yes. And you also got the tunnel that leads back out into the natural cave.
now? Alright.
From that room, you have another door up here and a flight of stairs that go upwards that way.
Okay.
So many options.
So,
And the statue is in the middle of this room?
yeah.
Alright.
I think I'll take the one with the racket pinion steering and the power brakes. There's so many options. I know it's bad.
Should we split up?
I don't know. Are you coming apart?
I'm just trying to file everyone into the room right now, so so that we have people covering each entrance.
I would say that the Ransar does look like it can be removed from the statue. Yeah.
Take
a 10 on perception check with regards
she
to
looks
the statue.
The statue looks pissed off, and if you take something away, it might wake her up.
It looks like an ordinary, untouched statue.
Detect
And-
magic.
There's no magic about the statue whatsoever.
Chill negative energy.
And the Rans...
You know what? I don't have to take it.
And the Rancer that it's holding itself seems very well made, and the blade on it is real. So it's not just a decorative place, it's a real thing.
I know this is probably really stupid, and Lucy's probably going to immediately try to stop her, but can Theodora start trying to pry the Rancer out of its hands?
With a bit of tugging, it comes right out. The stone just kind of... And when you stand there for a moment like, oh shit! Nothing. It just stays... Everything just stays quiet.
Theodora does a victory dance.
Next time, cast yourself in stone and rid us of your stupidity.
Rancer?
Fool of a pseudo-dragon.
Do you want us to die?
Does,
Drum, dribble, fake, dribble, shoot. Oh, God! It's a bog! From Board of the Range.
The music you're hearing is just ambient dungeon soundtrack from Oblivion. It's nothing to say, oh no, shit is happening.
Yet.
The book...
Does anybody else hear the music?
What music? What music?
I do.
It's alright. It's alright.
The book, I'm assuming, though, is fake. It's just
The book is part of the stonework.
But it does have a 7-pointed star on it.
Yes.
Stan makes a note of that in his journal.
All right. So you have so many directions to go. Which direction would you choose?
Well, we didn't take the passage that down to the south that one of the sin spawn came out of. Would you want to check that first, or see what's behind door number 1?
Since we're already here, we'll see what's behind door number 1.
Just so you know, we've been passing up a lot of passages.
I know
on
we need to go back down and check.
Yeah. So
You're going to go down the one passage.
yeah, we're gonna check this one out first. So
If you want, you guys can go. You can go ahead and just immediately move everybody to at least the middle of the passage to speed things along.
all right, there. There we go.
All right.
We're just looking around.
Let's see, because let me check some of them. So the pseudo dragon's able to see far enough to know that the passage kind of slightly turns into continuance.
Okay. She lets everyone know.
It turns slightly into continuance.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Oh, right.
Sally forth.
Who's Sally?
Okay. When you continue in that direction, the tunnel widens here into what appears to have once been a small shrine. For toward the northeast, steps lead up to a platform of gray stone. Sitting atop the platform is an ancient altar, little more than a jagged block of black marble with a shallow concavity on top of it. This basin is filled with what appears to be filthy water. Let me see.
I take it no one took detect poison. Jesus Christ!
What was that?
I had purify food and drink.
Stanton, when you come across the shrine, go ahead and make a knowledge religion check.
I'm assuming we can file out into the room.
Yes.
All right.
There's nothing, since the room lights up with all of your visions and whatnot. There's nothing here, except for a door. Let me switch my hair. Except for a door there.
Right down here.
I'm not seeing the paint. There.
I'm not seeing your pings either.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, now I see your pain.
The shrine is up here. If you're seeing it. Yeah, right where you're standing.
All
so
right.
if you want, go ahead and make a knowledge religion check.
I've got no knowledge. Ah!
I'm gonna take a touch of law on that one. So 11 plus 7, 18.
This is actually a shrine to Lamatsu beneath the city of Sandpoint.
The 7-pointed star wouldn't have had anything to do with this.
No. The 7-pointed star has nothing to do with Lamatsu. That's something entirely different. But
is that a dog?
But this is a shrine to Lamatsu.
Galapagos.
What's a dog?
And
What?
you figure that since there is a basin of water here, the water is touched by Lamatsu. So, not a good idea to drink or touch.
Okay. I relay that information. Hey, don't drink this. This is water of Satan, essentially.
So,
It's Satan's piss.
what about touching it? You say anything about touching it?
Don't touch it. Don't drink it. Don't use it. Don't boil water in it. Don't bathe in it. Don't wash clothes in it.
Don't even piss in it.
No.
It's a lot like walking through a sewer pipe.
Now, this
You
might...
can wash it off later. You just don't want to drink it right now.
Now, this might be a bit of metagaming, but what's your character's intelligence score?
14.
I'm going to go ahead and say that since you have that high of a roll on religion, this is the opposing god to your god, or goddess to your god. You can kind of begin to put 2 and 2 together and figure a way. You kind of figure that any follower that consummates a child within the presence of a shrine to Lamatsu will end up creating a child in Lamatsu's image.
A sin child. Like we don't like the vermin we've been killing.
Or like the stillbirth that was burnt.
Lucy is
I'm
suddenly
scratching
very,
my back,
very
alright?
grossed out.
I've got a hairy back.
You know, this is like deep, dark, holy shit revelation time, and you're here. Oh, I'm just scratching my back.
I'm just rolling my eyes because I'm not religious.
I'm rubbing nothing down on the wall.
We're both rubbing our backs like up against the corner of the wall.
Yes.
And y'all are just like, holy shit, it's religion.
So
you think that they did stuff here or something?
If
If
we had a black light, this place would glow like the sun.
What's a black light?
I don't know, but if we had one...
Oh dear God.
Semen.
Yeah. This place would be blue and
Oh,
rosy.
like sailors.
What's this thing?
Sailors
Sailor?
exist.
Semen.
No, they're semen.
Yeah, sailors.
So
You want to see my galleon that's long and hard and full of semen?
Oh!
Snap!
So there is a door, or the only other
Who wants
direction
to
it
touch
goes
the
back
knob?
the way you came.
Wipe the
Is it
nut.
locked?
It's
Shush!
it's in the same condition that the previous door was that you came across. So
Right, standard marching order.
Okay. Do you have ibuprofen?
I wish. I know, I've got a headache too.
Do you?
It's being around me.
Yeah, it's being around me.
No, I had a headache before this.
I usually bring it in my bag, but I didn't bring my bag this time.
So do you wish to open the door?
That's because of my surgery and
Yeah.
I forgot my pain medicine, so I went through all my Excedrin.
Okay,
So
opening
I need to restock.
opening the door. This
There
huge
are
room.
arrows on the floor.
What?
Drawing arrows on the floor. Drawing arrows.
Well, those
I want him
arrows
to go this way.
those arrows point out that those stairs head up a level,
Okay.
and the green outline means that it's kind of a balcony level.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all that's pointing at.
But what's that stain in the middle
Anyway,
of the floor?
This huge room looks nothing more than an immense underground cathedral. Stone doors stand to either side of the main entrance, but beyond this, the walls are carved with strange, spiky runes. In the center of the room is a large pool with a ring of polished human skulls balanced on stone spikes, arranged in a circle around the deeper midsection. At the far end of the room, a pair of stone stairways lead up to a pulpit on which sits a second pool. And Heather just fell over.
Yeah, so Heather's dead.
Heather just fell off the...
Yeah, I'm fine.
Anyway, the second pool is triangular and filled with churning, bubbling water that looks almost like a translucent lava. Yet while wisps of what look like heat and steam rise from the strange oral liquid, the room itself is deathly cold. So you got a well that's built up of human skulls and a secondary pool on top of that little balcony.
Who looks like they have the most mass and warmth about them? Like, are you your normal dimensions in game, or?
Well, if I'm a fighter, I'm probably...
He's a pretty big guy.
I'm a pretty big guy.
Okay, Theodora curls around your neck because it's cold in here. Not choking. But
Oh, okay.
Like, she's
Alright,
cold.
it's alright. It's alright, yeah.
Alright, so...
Okay. Now, also, as soon as you enter the room, get a look about and everything, that's when you hear a voice shriek out from seemingly nowhere. Who dares enter my kingdom? Who disturbs my slumber?
That's from Aladdin.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Do I speak with Lamastu?
Lamatsu is my goddess. You speak with the queen of the chambers of wrath. Catacombs. I am heirloom.
And you speak with an ordinator of the most high order.
Oh my god.
Yes, I recognize your symbol of Abadar. And it is because of that I cannot allow you to leave. You've attempted to take my kingdom, and now you'll all perish for it! And you hear something...
Excuse me, but have you seen your kingdom lately?
Looks rather bad.
You hear the sound
A
of...
piece of shit.
You hear the sound of something being cut, and from right on top of the well, you see drops of blood enter into the water.
Oh, that's gross.
The blood bubbles, the water bubbles, and stepping up from the water is another sin spawn. And then you hear the voice go, destroy them in the name of Lamatsu. They cannot leave alive! So that being said, the top of the initiative order is Amish.
Alright. You scurvy scum. Do your worst, and I prepare my spear for an attack.
Alright, so you're preparing. Linka.
Can I charge?
Do you have a credit card?
What's credit card?
Yeah, you can charge at the sin spawn if you want.
You know, you're charging at something that could come up right and bounce up on my skin. Go ahead.
Does it take a turn for me to get my bow out, or I don't know?
It takes a movement action to do so, since you don't have quick draw yet.
Because you drop your weapon.
Hold on there, Baba Louie.
I'm just gonna charge and attack with
She
both
doesn't
my
have quick draw, McGraw.
I can't get it yet. I have to level up one more time.
See, she cannot get quick draw, McGraw.
So Linka's going to end up moving there, and you get to attack with your long sword at a +2 since you're charging. You also lose 2 points to your AC until your next turn.
Okay.
Oh, that was not a good roll.
Hero point. Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
I got a 19.
19 will hit.
Eight,
6.
6. Yes, 8, 6.
One of those numbers. If
It's
Well-
an 8, because it's +2.
Okay.
don't
Steals.
encourage him to not.
Oh, if you're cold. Yeah, I'm warm over here, so.
Okay.
Stanton, you're up.
All right. If I use channel negative energy, would I know if it hit something else?
Is anybody else being negative?
Well,
No.
No, because I can hit the sin spawn, and if she's up on the ceiling, I might be able to hit her as well.
Stanton divorces the group because he can't commit to anything. You whore!
No, he's
Keep your-
very well committed to that spell.
Oh,
It's not a spell; it's a spell-like ability. I love it.
The ceiling is 30 feet high, but let's see how... You feel that you might hit something else.
All right, Stanton.
Mom, you toxicals. Oh,
What?
Nothing, just...
my butt.
Oh yeah, she has to roll.
So,
My butt cheeks are hurting. That's
so
my
it would
toxicals.
be the sin spawn and the.
Yeah, so boss character and sin spawn.
Alrighty.
And they have to beat a 15.
Yep.
Plus 4. Okay. Let's see. She makes it, so she only takes half damage. The sin spawn 8 plus 4 is not 15, so
Nope.
he takes full damage.
So 3 damage to the sin spawn. That would be 1 damage to her.
All right.
Sorry. I'm trying to situate my receptacles so that they are not congruent. And
Lucy.
It's okay. I don't like this chance.
Theodore, well, we both look up.
she's having a good time.
Is there...
What's
up?
You still see nothing.
I see nothing. I hear nothing.
Like, just space? Or,
Yeah,
like, ceiling?
You just see nothing but the ceiling. Because like I said, those droplets of blood seem to come out of nowhere. You can only figure that she's invisible or something.
Okay. Alright. Then...
Alright.
Entangle would get a...
You're just going to entangle the entire ceiling?
Maybe.
I
That's
will
actually
hug him
pretty
and pet
awesome.
him and call him George.
Should I do
I
it?
should be able to get her if I do it this way.
Should I do that?
Just cover the entire ceiling in roots.
Can't escape. Unless you come down here and then...
Then we're fucked.
Sorry, I love Entangle.
I would probably have to mention that since you're underground and in stonework, there's no plants for entangle to work with.
Roots.
Alright,
Really?
you make
Roots.
alright, you
Yeah,
make
there should
roots
be
crash
garbage
down.
water.
You make roots crash down from the ceiling and attempt to
Like,
grab.
it just comes all the way from, like, the roots from where there's roots.
Yeah.
And it takes longer.
So they have to make a reflex save and beat what?
You know, like in Avengers when Thor like.
Oh,
calls
by
his
the way,
hammer
are you on?
in the hanger? and
Where are you centering
it's like
the
fucking
entangled at?
I'm not gonna do Entangle.
What?
There's not enough people. There's like maybe 2.
All right.
I mean, it's supposed to be for like
Yeah.
party control.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but
Like,
Um,
Yeah.
Like when Canton and the others would do swarm, and the things come out of his mouth and swarm on all of it. It's only good. It's good for a group that you're attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name's John Coffee. Like the drink. Just spelled
Differently.
So yeah,
makes me cry.
what will it?
So Lucy kind of huddles in fear. Theodora, sure. Is that sin spawn wet?
Technically, yeah.
So Theodora's gonna go around and try to go up one of the stairs.
Okay.
All right.
Token guy. Move him.
All right.
Theodore's going around up the stairs.
I'm just glad you have a new theme song.
Hey, what's it? In the not too distant future.
There was a guy named Joe. Not too different than you.
Amish, you're up.
Amish. All right. I'm gonna come charging at the slime guy there with my spear in hand. Hey, charge the slime guy with my spear.
You'll charge him with your spear. Your long spear. It's twice as long as a man.
Some men are longer than others.
Your mother's been telling you stories about me, hasn't she?
Volunteers coming in. Volunteers for my spear? All right.
So yeah, go ahead and make your
Attack? All right.
+2 since you're charging.
You got my attacks. Die, scurry scum. 15 plus 6 is the 21.
21 will hit him.
And that's a 1d8 plus 4. A 1d8 plus 4. 7.
Does it make that noise exactly?
Yeah.
You almost kill him. He's like, but he's still standing.
He's been stabbed friggin' twice.
Okay, now, after Amish,
Butters from South Park, he sings that. Okay, I'll shut up.
after Amish, we are going
That's
to
a great idea.
Let's see, what's your AC?
My AC is 19.
And what's your AC?
Well, it was 18, but then I charged and you said it was minus something.
Alright, so, Amish, I'm going to need you to make a will save.
Will! Save me! Get it? There's a will save. Get it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Amish needs to make a will save because our demon friend is attempting to cast a spell on him, which makes her turn visible. She is completely up towards the ceiling, over here by the stairwell.
What does she look like she is?
What?
A demon thing.
And
Okay.
it's as small as a candlestick.
Okay.
Aw, she's pretty.
She's kind of cute.
So, will save.
A will save.
Like a little bitch.
I rolled a 5. I don't have very good will.
So I guess nothing.
Yes, nothing.
Okay. You are now paralyzed and frozen in place. You're aware and breathe normally, but you cannot take any actions, not even speech.
Good.
This is going to last for 3 rounds, but each round on your turn, you can make another saving throw to attempt to end it earlier. But for right now, you are trapped. And she is completely visible up towards the ceiling, but towards the back of the room as well.
Yeah.
She's like, now you can't do anything.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
That brings it to...
I wonder how it
actually...
breeze and other science stuff.
Just tell yourself that it's just a show,
and you really should relax. Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Let's give it up for my dad who butchered the lines.
Yes!
It's also the Sin Spawn's turn, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Sin Spawn.
Oh yeah, and because you're paralyzed, your strength and your dexterity are reduced to a 0. So any dex bonus you get towards your AC is lost until you're no longer paralyzed.
What's the point of having another fighter if this happens?
Because this happens, and
Because
we're
this
glad that
happens.
we have you.
So, the Sin Spawn is going to make a 5-foot step to get out of the pool. And he is going to do a bite and claw attack on you. Your AC has dropped to a 17. So, the blue one is the bite, and then the 2 claws. 7's not going to hit you. 13's not going to hit you, but a 19 is. So you get 1 claw attack done to you for 4 points of damage.
You can use my pen too.
Can I use your pen?
I'm sorry, I went to go check, and that's why I fell off the couch.
It's okay.
So now it's
I
Lincoln.
should have brought it with me.
Now it's Lincoln's
I
turn.
woke up from my nap and I was like, Excedrin, and I shook the bottle. I was like, no.
Oh, that's the worst feeling ever.
Lika, it's your turn. What?
Why are you hitting all my stuff?
Because all your stuff's in the way.
10.
10 plus 4. I got 14 with my long sword.
14 will hit it.
Oh,
You have my D8.
Quit stealing all our stuff. And you quit hitting all my stuff.
6 plus 2.
8.
8. He
Wait.
drops.
What?
He drops.
Yeah, finally.
He drops.
Now can I get my bow out now so I can try and get the demon chick?
Well, you can get your bow out, but you can't attack again.
Okay, that's fine.
That also brings it to Stanton.
Channel negative energy?
The thing is now, there's only, to our knowledge, there's only 1 left. So I really don't want to waste...
The first time you didn't do it, you were afraid that you were going to get more than what you wanted, and now you're not going to do it because you're only going to get 1?
I wouldn't have channeled negative energy the first time if it was only going to be like, oh,
Those
you're
were
only
my
hitting
knees.
1 enemy. If we're only fighting 1 person, then I'll just
But you
buff
knew
it.
there was someone up at the ceiling.
Yeah, and that's when I used negative energy, when I knew that there would be at least 2 targets. Now that there's only 1 target, I can just buff you guys, and
Yeah, okay.
you understand the logic. I'm not going to use an area of effect spell.
It's the reason why I didn't use Entangle.
Well, I understand why you didn't use Entangle, because that made sense. This doesn't make sense.
It makes perfect sense! Channel negative energy is a crowd control ability. If we're only fighting 1 person, that's not a crowd.
We were fighting 2 people before.
And I channel negative energy.
Oh, okay. That was the confusion.
So, what
None of my efforts, none of them are appreciated.
Buffs! Need buffs!
So, what is Stanton now
Give
going
to
to
me
do?
buffs!
He is going to use his 1 and only Bless spell to give everyone a +1 to, let's see, it's a +1 to attack rolls and +1 to fear effects.
Alright.
Plus 1 to attack.
That, and are you moving or anything, or staying put?
I'm staying put.
Alright, that brings it to Lucy and Theodora.
Theodora flies for the fairy and and tries to eat her.
Alright. So Theodora is effectively charging
Charging.
her in midair.
Yes. So I have a plus 2 from
I haven't
Bless.
eaten pizza in like
I know you
3
just
days.
said that.
Well,
That's magic.
Plus 1 or plus 2 on attack?
It's a +1 on attack.
Okay.
Plus-
So I have a full plus 3 from bonuses from different things.
yeah.
Oh, I have
Okay.
+1 now. Okay.
But Theodora is also
like-
losing 2 points to her AC until her next turn.
That's okay. And it's just a bite.
Yeah, you just do her one primary attack.
Come on, dice.
19.
19 plus 4. So 19.
19 on the die will hit her.
Awesome. And then I roll a 1d4. This is a d4. Yeah, this is a d4. 3 damage.
And is Lucy going to do anything? Like
Not-
Lucy could, like if you have any form of buff spell prepared, you could buff anybody or not.
No.
Okay.
I could use my sling. I could try to use my sling.
Alright, you would want to step into the room first.
Oh yeah, so
I
I'll
wanna
step
get
into the
that.
room and then try to
Do you
use
need
my
a
sling.
Febreze?
Oh no, thank you. I had my main vein was screaming for relief.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope I hit the toilet.
19, 20.
Oh,
20 will hit her.
Awesome.
You have to reach out that.
no. Was the toilet the one that
2
sits
damage.
way up or low to the ground?
Alrighty then.
Cool. I hit it.
Alright.
Hey, I hit it too.
Amish.
I get a
Amish is
saving.
a bit off.
Yeah.
Oh!
Hit it?
Yeah, but Amish just bit off. What?
I'm killing it.
Alright, you gotta beat a 14 to become unparalyzed.
That didn't do it.
Yeah.
Just
So-
spend a damn hero point.
Okay.
Alright, reroll.
There's that damn hero.
We're not Will. We don't have to save ours.
Good lord.
7 plus whatever for your will.
That's only 8. Should I spit another one? I've got 2.
Well, 7
That's
plus 8
15.
is 15.
That's
You're
15.
Oh.
you're no longer paralyzed.
Oh!
You come out of it. You are now free to do whatever.
Stop! Oh. Oh, no, sorry. No, Lucy, sorry.
Holy shit!
Just
Holy
like,
fucking ass crackers!
unfortunately, the demon is all the way over there and 30 feet up in the air.
Oh.
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 We could have used you, and then you're paralyzed, and now we don't need you anymore.
Alright, I'll just step outside.
I'm gonna go have a smoke.
What the fuck was that?
I'll let you guys handle this demon.
I didn't worship no god. Best of luck though.
So you're just gonna hold action, I guess?
I'm gonna hold my action. Save it up for later.
Alright, that brings it back to Illyrium. So first,
Delirium. Is
That's
that like radium?
that's the demon.
Oh, I thought it was like radium.
the first thing that happens
What?
with Illyrium is Theodora notices, because of how small she is and how close Theodora is to her, Theodora notices that her wounds heal just a tad.
Oh shit.
Ah, piss.
And
So headshot.
then she is going to...
Rage quit.
Fire! Kill it with fire!
She's going to do
Decapitate.
a 5-foot fly away from Theodora.
Can I see that animation again?
Oh, somehow I am sexually aroused.
She's going to do a 5-foot fly away from Theodora, and then she's going to begin working her magics again.
Ooh,
And behind Amish,
do that
Is
voodoo
going-
that you do. Oh,
behind Amish, the ground is going to tear and form into a small earth elemental
Oh, piss.
that is going to attack you as well.
ah. All right, I'll repair chemical warfare.
It is going to...
You just farted in your apartment. I want
That's
to make that clear. That's what happened.
Well, and since both you and it are touching the ground, it gets a +1 bonus to attack.
Oh, thanks.
So, does a 14 hit you?
No.
Alright, then you're fine. But there is now an Earth Elemental on the field. She has summoned Monster 2.
An Earth Elemental. I'm going to just look at it and I'm going to start punching it with my gauntleted fist.
I'm going to start fisting it.
I'm going to fist an Earth Elemental.
Righteous.
Yeah.
With spikes on my glove.
Oh my god, that sounds terribly painful.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Come here, I'm your proctologist and this is your examination!
One thing that I need to remember to include from this point on is that she does have a damage reduction.
That just made me think of Little Nicky and the pineapple and Hitler.
So, she
I haven't
went,
seen
her
that.
Earth Elemental went, it is now Linka's turn again. So,
You haven't seen Little Nicky.
so Linka, there is an Earth Elemental that appeared behind Amish. It's your turn.
It somehow looks like a dead Simsbon.
Amish can take care of it.
Oh my god.
So what's Linka going to do?
I am going to shoot an arrow at the demon.
Alright.
Alright.
And yes, I have a small blood.
6.
Sorry.
Oh, it's a 6. I'm going to spend a hero point on
Don't
that.
step in the puddle on the floor. 14.
I got 19.
19 hits her on the dot. She's going to ignore up to 5 points of damage.
Oh wait, I got a +1 attack, or is that
Yeah.
just one?
Well, it applies to attack rolls, not damage rolls.
I know, but so I got 20
I-
attack.
As long as you hit 19 or above, you hit her. Yeah, I should... Yeah, well...
8.
Yes!
8, well, it's just 8 because it's a normal longbow. So she only takes 3.
I don't
Yeah.
care, that's something.
Yeah, this was the fight that even a fully stacked party will have. Many people on the Pathfinder Facebook page will say that a stacked built party, like, tank, DPS, healer, and whatnot, will get completely wiped at this fight at times. But anyway, that brings it to Stanton down.
Alright. Stan's going to move here. Channel negative energy.
Alright then. So,
Alright then.
so blue for the demon, red for the elemental. And they both have to be at a 14,
15.
15. So
Ooh,
the,
they did not.
the demon is under 15, and so is the elemental, so they both take full damage.
2.
But since it was negative energy, she still gets damage reduction to it.
Aww.
So your 2 becomes nothing. Meanwhile, the earth elemental. Yeah. I should change this. Lala. It would be Lucy's turn.
Lucy!
Theodora does a full attack.
So 5-foot fly and full attack.
Yeah.
All right.
And we haven't really talked about the whole fire thing, but fire would be very helpful at this point.
Yeah.
So can we fire? You have the fire because of the healing and the fire.
And the fire.
I'm going to have to say that breath weapons are a no-no
Aww.
for her.
Aww.
Because breath weapon is a full 14-foot cone and does a crap ton of dice damage. Yeah.
We can just apply the fire to her bite. I mean,
Well, if you want to do that, I'll be happy to announce that she is also statted to have a resistance of 10 points to fire.
shit. So that wouldn't help at all. Okay, whatever. So 1 bite, 2 talons, full attack, because she rolls like that. 14 Shit.
Like just 14?
Yeah.
14 doesn't hit her.
Even less.
She has to hit a 19 or above.
Nat 20.
Nat 20 on a claw, so...
Yep. So that's a full 5 damage, times 2.
So 10 damage.
Yeah.
With her damage resistance, she only takes 5.
Fine.
How healthy looking is she?
Still pretty healthy.
Who chose to go down this hallway?
Lucy uses her sling.
Yeah, Lucy uses her sling.
Oh, come on.
No?
No.
Hero point?
Yeah, okay. Come on. Shit.
Jeez. We are terrible.
Nope.
Okay.
Do the prayer. No,
Amish.
Amish takes his spear and looks at the elemental and just
Big money.
jabs at her.
So you're gonna do a 5-foot step backwards, and because you can't attack an adjacent enemy with your spear,
Because
there
it's
has
a
to be some
reach weapon.
distance between you and it, so you have to take a 5-foot step.
Backward and then jab.
Or you can use your spike gauntlet on it.
I'll use my spike gauntlet because it's right there. I'm just going to smash it.
Hog fire smash!
Smash!
Who's Hulk?
What?
Never mind!
What the
Too
hell's
fun
that?
to do.
It's a 7.
Plus 6.
6 is a 13.
13 does not hit it.
Jesus.
Hero point or no?
Okay, I'll try it again. Thank you.
For the elemental, you gotta hit a 17 or higher. There you
There you go.
So go ahead and do your damage.
Okay, 1d4 plus 3. For a spike gauntlet.
1. So 4.
4.
He gets defenses. He gets no damage reduction. So, yeah. Okay, that brings it to the demon and her pet rock. My pet rock.
Cute. Does it have googly eyes?
Yes.
Yes. Have Theodora go ahead and make an attack of opportunity as she is going to attempt to fly over here.
Okay. Come on, dice.
Big money.
What is
Yes!
It? What is it?
14.
14. Awesome. Plus 4. So that's 18.
Plus 1 because of bless?
Yes.
Oh, plus 1 because of bless.
You would have missed if it wasn't for bless. So
Okay.
roll the damage.
Was it?
4.
4, 5.
So, no damage, I'm afraid.
What?
Damage reduction of 5.
Yeah.
This game sucks.
That's the max damage I can do with a single attack. Doesn't it have to reduce to at least 1?
I'm not entirely sure. Hang on.
I say we just back out of this room like, sorry.
Rondor.
Yeah, Rondor, sorry. Hi.
Hang on. Damage reduction.
Because he said even if fully stacked team gets its ass kicked. And we're not stacked.
Well,
Yeah, speak for yourself. Yeah. Hey, you must have been something when there was fire. Hey, you want to make $14 a hard way?
You do smell good, but you don't smell like bacon.
okay.
We have men need an aftershave that smells like bacon. That will attract a lot of women.
No.
If women had a perfume that smelled like new car tires,
Okay.
yes, you would attract a lot of men.
I remember that one commercial was for Taco Bell.
Anyway to go.
It was for that bacon crunch wrap or something like that. And she would keep it in her purse, and a bunch of guys would come up to her and be like, hey, and her friend would be like, what's your secret? She'd be like, bacon crunch wrap.
Remember that talk? Remember the Tosh video where the bees were on that?
Oh my
Those
god!
pastries.
There's it looked like someone's like taking a video of like Chinatown or
In
like,
China.
yeah, or like in China, and there was a vendor and he was rolling out dough for like pastries and crap, but the whole place was covered in bees. Like they were like crawling in the sandwiches, they were crawling on the dough. He was rolling it out, bees were getting crushed into the dough. They were everywhere.
I would love it if his eyesight was like.
But the thing was, he had the pastries prepared, and there were bees. I mean, like 50, 60 bees stuffed in the end of it.
So, to answer your question, I'm afraid that it doesn't reduce to just 1 point.
Okay.
Damage reduction is full-on damage reduction.
We're gonna have to do this the hard way.
I'm afraid that as far as damage goes, Theodora is out. If 5 points is the max amount that she can do.
Well, with one attack, full-on attack, I can do, but.
Okay. So with one attack.
What's your damage?
Anyway, she moves.
So my
She
best
is
damage
going to.
was a D8 plus 4 with my spear. With my
She already
gauntlet,
cast all those.
1d4
So
plus
the most
3.
damage that you can do is 2, and the most damage you can do at is
She
Is,
is going.
7.
She is going to take a chance and cast command upon
Now,
Stanton.
if I can get a
So
nat
Stanton
20,
needs
it's
to
3
make
times
a
the
will
damage.
save.
But throwing a nat 20 is
yeah.
1 in 20.
The most damage I can do is,
Can you have a red die? Thank you.
but that's
What
with
do I
my
have to
long
beat?
sword, and she's
A
flying
13.
like 20 feet up in the air. I'd have to be like,
Hence the reason I said it's a
8
chance.
plus 6, 14.
Okay, so you're not commanded.
Alright.
That's her turn wasted, and then the elemental is going to once again slam you. Wow.
slam.
That's a 21.
Oh yeah, that hits.
So you're taking a d6 plus 4.
I swear we just back out of this room.
6 points of
I'm
damage.
starting to agree with you.
Yes, I think we need to back out and run away. Run away! Run away is a better point of valor.
That brings it to Linka's turn.
Hey guys.
Okay.
What you gonna be doing?
Hey guys. That's
He's hurt, so
yeah.
touch him then.
Hey guys, I say we just.
We can't win this.
Okay.
Yeah, this is...
This is beyond us.
We
Yeah.
can't do the damage.
It's
Right.
amazing that I haven't gotten hurt yet.
Yeah.
We can't do the damage that needs to be done to kill these guys. We gotta get out of here. Or
And I'm-
we'll die.
I'm the only person that can shoot up in the air and actually do damage.
Wait, hold on. It's a long shot. Didn't Theodora grab a ranseur?
Yes.
Could you use that
What
ranseur?
is it? A rancer like a shield?
It's like a...
It's a spear. It's another spear.
So your speciality
Well,
would be able
you grabbed one. At
Well,
the very beginning.
I've got the
He's
little
got like the
sin-
basic weapon that the
little bitty
sin spawn
spear.
have.
Oh.
But
That's
Theodora grabbed like the special weapon from
Yeah.
the statue.
It was masterwork quality.
Okay.
So
yeah.
it might be able to do something.
Okay.
So
Let me try that.
All right, so
As
What?
in, what? Attempt to throw it? Because she's still...
Is there any way for Theodora to like drag her down?
She could attempt to grapple her.
Okay. What would I have to roll for that?
Your CMB combat maneuver bonus versus her combat maneuver defense.
Okay. She has a 1.
I'll attempt to do another
So-
arrow.
I still have entangled.
do we have
That
to be?
would help.
You said before that to aid another is like a roll, is like a attack roll against 10, and it gives another person a +2 to.
I believe that is how it works.
Do we have to be adjacent to them?
You do have to be adjacent to them. I do remember that part, and you have to. You have to announce it on your turn because you're giving up either a move or a standard. Aid another. So, right, if you're willing to do aid another, you couldn't do it for her right now unless she decides to hold action.
Wait, what?
As soon as the internets decide to load for me.
Well, I was thinking aid her with, aid
Or
Theodora
actually,
with her ability to grapple.
Or actually, Chapin, can I see your...
Regular or advanced?
The regular one.
Headache?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know this is dragging for you.
That's okay.
Medication changes. It's thrown everything off.
That aid another, page 86.
That's not what I
I'll
wanted.
tell you what. This guy's got magic fingers. If you wanted to rub your head and try to make you feel a little bit better.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I know.
I'm sorry.
He's got magic
You
fingers.
know.
Okay.
You know.
I've got a headache too.
Aid another. You can help someone
I
achieve
got some
success.
magic fingers for you.
You can help someone achieve success on a skill check by making the same kind of skill check on a cooperative effort. If you roll, Jesus, that's saying it can only work on skill checks. Hold on, I know I read something in the combat section.
We need to be going to bed soon because we got to get up early.
Yeah.
We got a 3-hour drive down and a 3-hour drive back.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah,
In combat, you can help a friend, attack or defend by strength. If you're in a position to make a melee attack on an opponent that is engaged in melee combat, you can stand action, make an attack roll.
We're going to put flowers on Dad's grave, and then try and see a cousin down there who does artwork for D&D,
Oh.
and see if he's there. If he's not, we'll just drive on back, see if we can see some relatives down there. Because Lord knows we haven't seen him in forever, since Dad died.
So, hey, what is it that you're seeing? Because I guess you came across
I'd
it.
have to make a melee attack. I'd have to be in a position to make a melee attack against her, and if she's flying 30 feet up in the air, I don't have that kind of reach.
No.
So,
You do, however, also have an elemental to deal with.
yeah. So whose turn is it right now?
Mine.
It's still hers. Because she was waiting on you to figure.
Are we gonna run or are we gonna try?
We could still have a chance to get the Ransuer to him, see if he can...
What, throw it at her, or?
See if you can possibly attack her.
I
with
will
it.
go ahead and mention that her maneuver defense is a 16. So, if Theodora rolls up... Well, you still have Bless active, so if Theodora rolls a 14 or better, she can manage to grab her and then basically have hold of her in flight.
Okay. I think
So
we
there
can do it.
is that. But, Linka, if you want to, go ahead and notch a shot at her.
If we can get her into combat range for you guys.
It's 13 plus 5. That's 18, then plus 1 for
Bless is...
bless. So I got the 19.
The Bless will let you hit her.
Thank God for that bless.
Yeah.
Six.
6 plus... Oh, it's just a... So she takes just 1. Yeah. Stanton.
Alright, Theodora still has the Ransuer?
Yep. Or Lucy does.
It would have
We
to
could
be...
say Lucy does.
It would have to be Lucy, because he wouldn't be able to carry
Yeah.
such a big thing.
Alright.
Yeah, it's on Lucy's back. Go ahead, take it.
Alright.
Well, Stanton's the one that's in action right now.
Alright.
And Will, I know that you're the type of cleric to keep slots open, you would just have to have 15 minutes of personal uninterruption prey.
Well, that would be the case if I didn't fill up all my slots with heals and buffs.
True.
I'm not exactly at this point where I can just leave all my slots open. 2, 3, 4. Gonna channel negative energy again.
Channel negative. Wow, she did not succeed that at all.
Was it a critical fail?
No, just a 2.
Damn it.
Almost a critical fail.
Did the elemental pass?
Oh, yeah, the elemental. He's still within range. No, he did not either.
Alright. 4. So it does nothing against her, 4 damage against the elemental.
The elemental is starting to crack apart. He is not looking good.
Theodora charges the demon and
On a charge, it's another +2 to any maneuver bonus.
so I have a +4.
So you can attempt to charge and tackle her.
Come on, dice. Come on. 12 plus 4, so 16.
16 on the 16 gets her.
Awesome.
So Theodora has now grabbed a hold of her, and he is the only one keeping them both in flight.
Stops flying.
So, free action to immediately drop to the ground.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
And Lucy entangles. It somehow so that it only gets them.
Okay, let me figure. Let's say if you try to put it here, what will happen? 20 feet there, 25 feet, 30.
I can
30 to Stanton.
I can aim it off screen, can't I?
No, you can't aim it through the wall.
Oh. Dang it.
How far does it go?
It's a 30-foot radius.
If it's a 30-foot ceiling, then I can aim it at the ceiling.
And it would still come down and grab hold of. Pretty much, no matter where you trigger it amongst this outer edge, Stanton is the only one that would have to make a reflex save or be just grabbed.
But then no one would be able to walk up and hit it.
Well, entangled. Okay, no movement if bounds are anchored. Otherwise, movement is at half speed. Creatures take a -2 penalty on all attack rolls and a -4 penalty to their dex. Must make a concentration check to cast spells. So, he wouldn't be completely rooted to the ground, incapable of moving, if he fails his reflex save. In fact, failing your reflex save takes those penalties, and you're only allowed to move half of your speed at best.
Not to mention that in effort to kill her, it's not necessary for me to be able to move around.
Huh.
At most, I'll be able to deal 1 point of damage, and I have a 1 in 6 chance of doing that. So,
But like if they go up and start stabby.
if say Amish were to move here, you'd still have the 5-foot. The Ransewers have a 5-foot reach as well, don't they?
Yeah, Rancers are reach weapons.
Right. If he stands there, he would still be able to attack her, and I would still be within range to heal Amish.
Amish would actually be out of the 30-foot range, but he would also be, thanks to diagonals and whatnot, he would be within melee range of her.
Okay.
She is right within his 10-foot radius, and he is out of the 30-foot radius. As long as it is cast on this very corner that the arrow is coming from.
All right.
Stanton would be right at the edge of it. Basically.
Okay.
And Linka, you would be at the edge as well. So if you attempt to step forward. Well, like I said, with the exception of losing attack power, the only thing you're truly facing is only being allowed to move half your speed, which for most of you is 15 or 10 feet.
Right.
You're not being completely anchored down to the ground, unable to do anything.
Okay. Entangle.
Alright, so, if you want Theodora has a hold of her, so either, if she
Theodora's exempt anyway, because she's my familiar.
I'll go ahead and allow that.
You've allowed it before.
She's going to let go, so if the vines grab her, she'll
not
have to
letting
let
go.
Okay then.
So she's both grappled and entangled?
Yes.
I like it.
So, Stanton...
And tied up. And blindfolded.
So, Stanton, you and the demon both have to make a reflex save just to see if you face those penalties or not.
Alright.
And what are we beating on the reflex for a entangled spell?
15.
She's entangled.
Yes!
So Stan.
Alright.
But-
Nah.
Fuck it.
Exactly.
Yay, Roots.
So, yeah. -2 on attack rolls and -4 to dex.
Good.
For
That should lower the AC too.
For being grappled, she cannot move or take action that requires both hands. She's already taken a -4 dex. She takes a -2 penalty. She's already taken a -2 to attack and combat maneuvers, except those made to escape.
Ribbit.
And she must concentrate to cast spells. And she cannot take attacks opportunities.
Awesome.
So...
Beat down.
But on that note, it goes to Amish.
Ha ha!
Because you and your companion are done.
Alright.
Take
Alright.
the rancid.
And stab the demon.
Beat down. Beat down.
So if a -4 penalty to her dexterity,
Yeah, I'll take care of the elemental.
her AC is going to drop to a 15.
And how... Well, what's the Rancuer do?
Oh yeah, my ultimate weapons is right here. Rancors. Damage-wise,
Yep.
that's exotic weapons.
I see you.
Being an exotic. A Rancor is
doesn't
for a
like me.
medium creature a 2d4. It's
Yes.
capable of doing disarming and reach.
Alright. So, roll them bones.
2d4.
2d4 plus your strength mod and all that.
Oh, I could just roll 2d4?
No,
You
that's
still
your
have to roll
damage
to hit,
roll. Oh.
but-
Your damage roll's gone to a 2d4 now.
8. Oh, yeah, that's going to hit.
18.
Yep.
18 on the die is going to hit her.
2d4. Plus strength.
2d4 plus strength modifier.
Yep.
That's 2d4 plus 3 each time.
No,
No,
it's
just all together.
2d4 plus 3.
Okay. 6, 3 and a 1 is 4 plus 3, 7.
7, so she manages to take 2 points of damage off of that.
Is it a special Rancuer? Or
It's
It's a special Rancier, isn't it? It's a special Rancier, isn't it?
because it has +1 to damage because it's masterwork, isn't it?
Because it's masterwork, it slices through the damage resistance, right?
Normally, it was nothing but a masterwork weapon written in the book, but because of the way this fight is going versus the way you guys are set, I'm going to go ahead and say when you pierce her, she reacts to it more violently than she has the rest of your attacks. Since none of you have the appraise skill, I can't have you all know in character that it is in fact cold iron metal.
Oh,
But,
cool.
so, player knowledge, it's cold iron. As far as your character knows, it's like, guys, this is hitting her!
This is working!
The thing is grappled. She has a tangle around her. All Amish has to do is sit in one place and poke her with a damn stick.
As long as she doesn't escape from the grapple.
Right.
Well,
she can escape from the grapple and then be able to fly half of her speed.
I wish I could attack her wings and then she wouldn't be able to fly at all.
oh, can Theodora bite off her wings?
Next turn.
Okay.
Right now, it is her turn, and she will attempt to escape. Her escape attempt being the only thing where she gets her full bonus, which is a +6. What's her combat maneuver defense?
13. Would you fail? Fail!
It was not.
Fail! Fail! 1!
Oh, jeez.
1! It's a 1, isn't
Whammies,
it? It's a 1!
It's a 15.
It's a 1!
15.
Okay.
0 point. It's a 1.
Seriously?
Here's the way this is going to go down.
0 point. Redo.
Oh, hold on. Here's the way this is going to go down. Because you just hit her with something that made her feel full damage. She's going to panic, break free, and the both of you get an attack of opportunity on her because she is going to cast invisibility on herself within melee range of you.
So, that's your cue and her cue.
Since she is entangled, she is What was it again?
Get attack of opportunity.
She's still considered entangled, so she's losing her 4 points of dexterity, so you only have to beat a 15 to hit her.
Okay.
15.
16.
15 hits and 16 hits.
Bite her wings off. I don't care about damage, bite her wings off.
Okay, and I'm going to...
Well,
now, am I using the Rancier or my
Yeah,
regular
Yes,
skill?
yes, you want to use that.
Use the Rancier, which is
2d4 plus 3.
2d4 plus 3. 3 and 2 is 5, 8.
8. She doesn't die. We'll say that Theodora manages to clip her wings.
Okay.
After you strike her, she turns invisible. And then you hear her scampering away.
But what about the entangle?
Well, she's invisible, so what can you do there?
But vines.
But the vines would
The
get her.
vines...
would give her away because she's trying to move through the vines.
And they're wrapping around her.
She's slowed to 10 feet of movement. The vines are trying to grapple as she is making a withdrawal action.
Okay.
But she's invisible, so she still has practically, we'll say, 80% concealment, since it's like the vines are grabbing in this traditional area.
Okay.
But effectively, she's run off. And she's like, "You will never take my kingdom! I will return!"
That will help her invisibility.
It echoes. So,
Alright. We've been assholes all night. I'll watch you have that.
Yeah.
But
I'm definitely going to prepare like a glitter spell or something for.
so can we say that this is a safe room, like what as far as adventurers go? This is where we're setting up camp in the dungeon.
yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend sleeping an entire night down here, but yeah, as soon as she leaves, you even have the door slam on you all, and boss fight ends, back to normal gameplay.
Okay.
Cool.
Save point appears.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank
And a heart piece. Is there a heart piece?
I think it's like if you do.
Down to 11.
I'm not sure how.
Get nailed.
I'm not sure how resting entirely works, but I think you can do like a short rest to gain back so many hit points.
Right, lad.
We open up. since we're not in a populated area, when we hit T on our keyboards, it says rest and not just wait.
Look,
for.
I'm Jewish.
Really? Really?
So Chapin, I'm sorry for the long combat and the long night.
What challenge rating was that?
Yeah.
Challenge rating of 4.
Okay, because that was
It was the damage reduction.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the damage reduction,
We would have nailed her, but
yeah,
boy,
but
Yeah.
that was just a bitch and a half.
Yeah, we would have had her. Like,
yeah, we would have had her. All right, we would have had her. Right where we wanted her too. So we could nail her.
well, I had 8 with my arrow. Like my first shot.
You know, I have trouble with that sometimes myself.
She was a challenge rating 4. There's 4 of you here that are second levels, so you're all at party level of 6. Is that how the APL is?
APL works by you look.
Fighter.
You look at the level of all the players present, which is level 2,
Yeah.
and then depending on how many players you have, it's the average player level plus or minus depending on how many you have. So let's say it was just
Actually, no, this is for the hero points.
Oh, okay.
let's say it was just Chapin, Heather, and myself. That would be an APL of 1 because you have.
Don't forget to write down your hero points.
Because you have an average player level of 2 minus 1 for it being a small party.
So,
Those go to him.
I know, but write them down so you know how many you had. You
So-
fart?
I didn't use any, so.
Since there was 4 of you here, I was able to run that boss fight as it's statted, since this is for a 4-person party, and with her challenge rating being 2 levels above your APL, that would consider her a challenging fight.
Yeah.
that was challenging.
Yeah.
Considering she appears so early in the adventure, this is supposed to be your first challenging fight, and it's supposed to serve as a whoa moment.
Okay.
Because,
Accomplished.
she had a damage reduction of 5. She was carrying she did have the dagger on her person, which was also cold iron.
Was it that time in the month for it too, I'm talking about it?
And she is a 3rd level
That's a
witch.
+2 right there.
Yeah.
So the next time you guys meet up with her, at least you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah. And I'll make sure I have like fairy fire or something that reveals concealed.
You know what would be really awesome is if I had sound burst. That would be a really nice spell to have.
But right now she is wounded, she is invisible, and she's run off somewhere in the dungeon. Pissed at all of you.
Sounds like somebody I know. Oh. No, I am not talking about your mother.
Yeah. This
We
one,
know how to take her now.
yeah, this is supposed to be a hard fight, and like I said, there have been people in the Pathfinder group that have stated that even with a party of a tank, a healer, a mage, and a DPS guy, this can still be kind of a party wipe fight.
Well, I don't think it would be quite party white because we had healers, around.
It's just we couldn't do anything to whittle down
It
her
was ultimately a stalemate.
Yeah.
I think that's what almost makes it a party wipe, considering she does have her summon monster spells.
Yeah.
If she's able to whittle down your spell slots before her, that's probably where the trouble comes in. I mean, that's the way I could imagine it if a whole party of 4 can get killed in this encounter.
Yeah.
It would all depend on who ends up using their resources first. So maybe how clever is the GM versus the players, and we all know how I am. I think that would have ended up coming down to just the stalemate of picking at her versus whatever she does.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, since it is the end of the encounter, you all still earn nifty little XPs.
Oh, I heard.
I'm going to... before I earn the XPs and before we stop recording, aside from what all's already been said, any other questions, comments, or anything?
For being mostly combat, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was pretty much fun.
And everyone still have fun, including Chapin?
Yes.
I didn't mind the hallway clearing, but that goddamn imp. Or closets, or whatever the hell.
Don't worry, Theodora.
She's a closet.
Okay.
Theodora is planning on how to get her in her belly.
Okay. Get it?
Yeah.
She's a closet case.
She does have fast healing, so her wings will be back by the time she decides to either go after you all or you manage to find her.
I got it. It's just I didn't want to get it.
But yeah.
That means she gets to rip her wings off again.
So, I get Dave. Thank you for being here.
No, my pleasure. I wish I could be here more often.
So do we.
I had a fun time. I always have a fun time.
I think Wolf
Yeah, it was nice not to be the only fighter.
I think Wolf and our other 3 or 4 viewers is going to thoroughly enjoy that one.
Yes. Yes.
But anyways.
3 or 4 viewers.
Yeah.
So, everybody say goodnight as we sign off.
Night.
Good night.
Night.
And we will see you next week to see where the heroes go from here.